Audio. Low, deep cinematic drone sound with ticking clock effect. Music is mysterious and dark finance theme. Visual, slow-motion macro shot of luxury clock gears moving, or dark, moody office overlooking a city at night. There is a level of wealth that most people will never see. Not because they work harder, not because they are smarter, but because they have stopped playing the same game as everyone else. While 99% trade their hours for dollars, the 1% make their money work for them in ways most banks will never even explain to you. Tax structuring, leverage, private equity, strategies that the wealthy have used for generations, quietly, deliberately, and almost invisibly. Today, we are lifting the veil. We are going to reveal the exact strategies used by high earners to transform their income into generational wealth. Stay with me, because after watching this video, you will never look at money the same way again. Sound effect. Deep cinematic whoosh transition. Audio. Music swells. Introducing a heavy, sophisticated rhythmic bass line. Visual, high-end corporate buildings. Stock charts glowing in the dark. Close-up of signing a contract. Here is the uncomfortable truth that no one tells high earners. Making more money does not automatically make you wealthy. In fact, it can be precisely what keeps you trapped. It is called the high earner trap. The higher the salary, the higher the lifestyle, and the higher the taxes. Without a strategy, a $300,000 salary can disappear just as fast as a $50,000 salary, if not faster. Sound effect. Cash register sound or digital payment alert chime. The wealthiest 1% understood one thing very early on. It is not about what you earn. It is about what you structure, protect, and multiply. That is where the real game begins. The first step is not to earn more. It is to lose less and legally. The rich do not evade taxes by hiding money. They restructure how that money is earned and held in the first place. Business entity structuring, real estate depreciation, maximizing retirement accounts, strategic income deferral. None of these are loopholes in the tax system. They are simply tools that most high earners never learn to use because their accountant merely files a tax return, instead of building a strategy. There is a difference between a tax preparer and a tax strategist. One looks backward at what already happened. The other looks forward and builds the architecture before the money even arrives. Sound effect, electronic sub-bass drop, chanchir, transition. Audio. Music shifts to a strategic, fast-paced technological and corporate beat. Visual. Fast-paced shots of modern real estate construction. Dynamic abstract lines connecting nodes, gold bars. The middle class is taught that debt is dangerous. The 1% learned something else. Debt used correctly is a weapon. Borrowing to buy a depreciating asset is bad leverage. But borrowing against appreciating, income-generating assets, real estate, businesses, stocks, is how you build a fortune without ever selling what you own. This is the foundation of strategies like buy, borrow, die. Assets grow, loans are taken against their value tax-free, and the core wealth remains untouched. It sounds aggressive, it is not. It is a patient, calculated strategy, and it has been used by the ultra-wealthy for over a century. For most people, the investment universe is limited to the stock market, but the stock market is just the tip of the iceberg. Sound effect, ocean depth sound or sonar ping. Visual, submerged iceberg visual effect, moving from public stock exchange screens to private boardrooms. Beneath the surface lies a world that most retail investors never access. Private equity, venture capital, private credit funds, and direct business ownership. Higher barriers to entry, greater complexity, and historically a potential for returns that the public market simply cannot match. This is when accredited investors start allocating capital differently, not chasing headlines, but buying a stake in the very engines of the economy before they ever go public. Sound effect, dramatic paper rustle or gavel strike. Audio, music slows down, becoming deep, grand, and emotionally powerful. Visual, slow panning shot of an old family library, signing estate documents or hands protecting a glowing light. Accumulating wealth is only half the battle. The other half, the one almost no one talks about, comes protecting it. Trusts, liability insurance, asset protection structuring, Estate planning. These are not tools for the elderly or just the ultra-rich. It is the difference between wealth that survives a lawsuit, a divorce, or a market crash, and wealth that evaporates in a single bad year. This is what the 1% understands better than anyone. It is not about getting rich quick. It is about building something that grows steadily, quietly, and relentlessly over decades. From generation to generation. Tax optimization, leverage, private markets, protection. Together, they do not just create income, they create a legacy, wealth that outlives the one who built it. These strategies are not secret. They are simply untaught, and now they are available to you. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because in the next episode we will go even deeper. How the ultra-rich pass down their fortune from generation to generation without losing a single penny. The journey ahead reveals their secrets.